Angry Birds 2 builds upon the foundation laid by its predecessor and introduced new energetic characters like Courtney and Zeta. I think for me, one of the biggest draws is having the pigs and birds team up. This was a natural gateway for unique humour between Leonard and Red. Hotel Transylvania is a film adaptation of a children's book that almost nobody knew existed. It introduced us to the idea of classic monsters living in a modern setting. Clumsy-go-lucky Johnny is wisely chosen to be the lead, kind of being there as someone we can understand and relate to as fellow humans. Hotel Transylvania 3 is by far the freshest direction you could possibly take a franchise that has predominantly been set in an outskirted hotel in previous installments. The overwhelming amount of gags felt a little too much, however the star-crossed romance arc between Erica and Drac made this a film worth watching at least once. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 avoids stepping into typical sequel cliches by adding brand new and interesting concepts such as food waste from the first film, evolving into animal hybrids. For the most part, things do feel less cohesive than the first film, but there's enough fun ideas and concepts brought in to make it a worthy sequel overall. Can we all agree that whatever Christopher and Phil Lord put their hands on become one of a kind, visually stunning films unlike anything we've ever seen? There's definitely Spider-Verse resemblance in terms of the animation in here, but this one opts to use a more positive, brighter colour palette, being a representative for the fun type of film that Mitchell's truly is. Lacking in freshness but excelling in utilising side characters from the first, Hotel Transylvania 2 provides a lot of entertainment by being a heartwarming, childlike romance story between Dennis and Winnie. I passed on Goosebumps when it first came out because I wasn't really a fan of horror back then. After finally watching it in I think 2020, I fell in love with the spooky world. It wasn't until watching Across the Spider-Verse until I finally decided to revisit Into the Spider-Verse. Clearly I was missing something before because this film is a masterpiece. The emotional elements like Prowler's death still doesn't work for me quite as well as Gwen and her father's emotional moments, yet both Spider-Verses have incredible animation, making these films ones that should be taught in film and animation classes. Being an extremely creative and innovative film made to be enjoyed by both adults and children, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is a story about chasing your dreams even when others doubt you'll even make it. Hence why I say that it's a film that can resonate with anyone at any age. There's not one thing wrong with Across the Spider-Verse. The only complaints I've been hearing is when people say it wasn't a complete film, but it was. Look at Gwen's arc for example, going from isolating herself and trusting absolutely nobody to finally finding a place where she truly feels that she belongs. This sounds like a pretty complete arc to me.